Whew, hi guys. This is probably the hardest Instagram live I've ever done. Whew, man. I'm just gonna give everybody a second. Yeah, today was a bit difficult. Hi everyone, hi everyone, hi everyone. Yeah, today was a bit hard. A lot is going on in the world, but I'll give it a second. As you can tell, I'm equally as horrified. I'm equally as scared. Yeah. I'm gonna start speaking in a moment. So just give me a second. All right. Hi. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? The guys from the popcorn room are here. Guys, can you hear me? Okay. I'm gonna start off by introducing myself. My name is Phamotse. I'm an author of a book series called There the Bliss is Game. There are 3 books in that book series. And today I wanted to speak about an issue that I've been speaking about for the longest time. And I've gotten to a point where I feel like I need to raise my voice higher. Simply because a lot of people are scared to talk about this. And there are certain things that we as people like denying or dismissing because we do not understand the nature or the implications of those things. First and foremost, I am not a Sangoma. However, I have Sangoma friends who understand spirituality. And I will start off with what I posted earlier today. So I posted about Kinimbi's death. And there's 1 or 2 things that I want to clarify before I get into the details of that post. I did not say he is in a cult, nor did I say the other people who were involved in the car crash were in a cult. What I merely said or tried to bring to the table was the importance of knowing what you're doing when you're dealing with people who have a lot of power and influence. I do send my condolences to their families, and I do understand their sensitivity around this time. So therefore, I will not mention their names going forward in this live, nor anybody else's name going forward in this live. But I would like to state 1 or 2 things that have been bothering me when it comes to rich people and their lifestyle that influence how young people interact with them. Number one, we will talk about cults. In the African term is ukutwala, specifically. The rise of sangomas in the continent is extreme. Not that they are not allowed to have jobs, or not that they are not allowed to practice. But my question to them is, what are people asking for in those consultations? And the reason why I ask this is that young people in general, male and female, when I say young people, I'm saying people under the age of 35. They go to traditional healers to heal themselves, number one, to protect themselves, number two, and number three, this is the tricky part, where they go to get immunity to attract and keep men. It is scary to think what those things do in the long run. For an example, the people who are living to Sabawell the good life, and believe you me, it's attainable, whether you work for it or you don't. These young girls who go to Isangoma, and I'm speaking from a place of caring, a place of worry, and a place of speaking to Isangoma, men and female Sangomas. I asked them today, I called a couple of them and I said, guys, what are the real issues when it comes to young people coming to you? And obviously they couldn't give me names, they couldn't give me specifics, but they could give me sort of a light to what could lead to these deaths and many other deaths. The first thing they said is, young people refuse to work. They're lazy, so they want the easy way out. We know that already. A lot of people want an easy way out. So they opt to use traditional medicine to get what they want, which is quite effective to a certain point. This is not still directed to young people. I'll come to the blessers and the older men and the rich people just after. What they ask for is umuti to ukhokhela indoda, so to attract a man. They get it. After they get it, they use it. After using it a couple of times, it works. And then the sacrifice increases. So from starting at cleansing, they will cleanse ngenkuku, emhlope. They will go to the river and cleanse. They will wash away everything that was done. For an example, abortions. They will go on to wash away itunzi. I don't know what they call it in English. Maybe it's like bad aura, bad karma. Once that's done, they will get medicine that will enhance their vaginas, that will enhance sexual appeal, that will enhance their position in society or amongst their friends or work environments. These things are done over time, over a period of 4 to 6 weeks, where they will go to the Sangoma and get this done. Once that is successful and they have attracted or they are within the space they want to be in, they will now go on to the bigger stuff, which is ukuthwala. Ho rwala ka Sesotho. I'm not sure what it's called in English. Moving from slaughtering a sheep or a chicken, they will then ask, how do they keep what they have had or what they asked for? Then the traditional healers will give them options. These options read as follows. Number 1, uzothwala ngenyoka, which is a snake. You will be assigned an animal that you will take care of. This animal, it be a snake. There's different kinds of snakes that do different things. And they require different things. For an example, there are the white snakes. Those are your ancestors. They aid as protective mechanisms. And then there's the black snakes. The black snakes are used to lure in people and bring in money. At some point, somebody on Instagram, somebody very famous, very popular, posted a snake in their house. If you Google it, you will find it. It's just that obviously I can't mention names. These are big snakes, 2 to 3 meters long. They are big snakes. Other people keep these snakes in their houses for money, for power, for control, and also to protect themselves from people who are doing the same. And then there's doves, white doves that are used. So inyoni, I don't know ngesizulu ibizwani. They are the white doves. The white doves are used for cleansing. They are also very similar to the chickens. Then it will move from animals, depending on what the ngoma is asking for. Different ngomas deal with different things, or different traditional healers, they use different animals for different things. So I stand to be corrected depending on what the ceremony is for and for how long and the purpose of that specific animal. Others, they use inhlanzi or water animals, fishes, sharks, water snakes, and others would even go as far as saying mermaids. But because I'm not a sangoma, I don't know how they get that. It's a very difficult thing to have, but it's not foreign. If you're an African child, you should know. Then we move on to human sacrifices. When a young person requests ukuthwala ngumuntu, it's a different ball game. If they see that they're not getting money quick enough, they're not getting the men quick enough, they move on to extreme things. From ukuthwala ngemithi, ukuthwala with animals, they move on to human sacrifices. This is where you see the increase of illegal abortions, number 1. A lot of young people, when they sleep with old people or people who have money, whether they are young I mean 36, 37, 38, old people 50, 60, 70, it becomes a spiritual warfare because you've got 2 powerful people that are seeking the same but with different intentions. Young people, girls specifically, bathanda imithi, and it's not a secret. They will fall pregnant. They will force the boy to sleep with them. They will then take that embryo after they have drunk a illegal abortion pill that they get in the back doors. They will take that fetus to Isangoma. Isangoma will work on the blood that is given. That blood has DNA that belongs to the male who impregnated her. Sometimes these men don't even know that the girl is pregnant. The girl will take that, take it to Sangoma, and they will use it. The same way males take women's tampons and pads and underwears, they will do the same thing. They will take it to Isangoma. The Sangoma will work on it. For a certain period of time, that blood will be used in different ways. Some of the blood will be dried and it will be put in intengati spices, so that when they cook, they mix that fetus and the blood in the food that the man eats. That will force the man to listen to them. It will force the man to give them more money. It will force the man to only look at them because they are eating their DNA and they don't know it. Then it goes to extremes. Once the female has had the taste of the money that comes with the sacrifice, she will have to consistently do this ritual. So putting aside ukfuta, nokpeita, nokapa, nokgeza, other things will have to happen so that they maintain their position in that relationship. Sometimes they do this to get the wife out of the picture, because it's not easy to just kill a wife or just to poison them. So they will use the blood that they got from the fetus to make sure that this man feels them in their blood and stops feeling the other woman. They will move on to using clothes in the house consistently. Shoes, socks, vests, pajamas, even the sheets that they sleep on, to take to Izangoma to work on them so that they continue to be in that good light. Guys, I see your comments. You're saying I'm reading. Yes, I made notes so that I don't forget. And I made notes because I was reading your DMs, so I wanted to answer everything. So every time I look down, please don't be offended, because I'm trying to remember all the questions that you asked me during the day. So they will use that. But women become scared at some point because the sacrifice becomes too big. This is the reason why a lot of women are drugging their friends. From you realizing that every 3 months, every 6 weeks, mele uyenze something to keep this man. You are then told that your sacrifice that you did 3 months ago is invalid. You need to do something else. Then they go on to drug their friends. They get them raped, and then they steal the blood and they steal the clothes from that rape incident, and they take it to Isangoma. The Sangoma works on that because it's somebody else's blood. This also happens with situations where when your friend is a virgin and you are trying to get ahead in life, and you wait for a moment where you can drug your friend and use her menstrual blood for a sacrifice. It becomes a bit tricky when you have to cancel what you have done. In the beginning, it's fun because you're getting what you want. And it's true. Izangoma, they do give you what you want. And they can't, most of the time, they can't say no to what you want. It's what you're requesting. So they will grant you what you want. When it starts to putting stuff in people's food, in their drinks, so that you are able to take their belongings to Isangoma, it gets tricky. You can't undo what you have asked for spiritually. This is why when things go wrong, people commit suicide, because they know they can't reverse it. And reversing it requires another blood sacrifice to break down the bond you have created. But now it's becoming a trend because young people suffer well the good life. They are content to do anything, to go to a hotel, to sleep with anybody. They don't care. As long as they get 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, they get a handbag, they go on holiday. And it's sad to see this happening. And it is scary because you don't understand the spiritual implications. Now let's move on to men. When men go to Inyanga, for them, the risk is bigger because they've got families and they've got businesses. And it's not a secret, Yoguti, a lot of our black men bayatwala in different ways. Whether batwala ngamanzi, ngenyoka, ngumuntu. Now, I need you to listen to me carefully. When you date a man who has money, you've got two options. It's very clear that you're dating for money. And they know that you're dating for money. And because they have a surplus of money, they will make sure they take as much from you as possible. Young women, whether you sleep with a man with a condom or without a condom, it doesn't make a difference. Because your sweat is on him, your spirit is with him, your presence is with him, and you're in his environment. For an example, when we talk about environments, in people's houses, from the gate, something is poured at the gate. So maunyathela, you have inherited some kind of umuti. When you get into the house, or when you get into the yard itself, that yard iqinisiwe. There are things in that yard that have been planted that you don't know. You inherit that. If somebody has died in that house and something was done to them, you inherit that. This is way before you have sex. Now, in a lot of these big houses, there are rooms that people don't go into. There are spaces that are not occupied or you're not invited into. For an example, when you go to a person otwele, ngenyoka, and they have the snake in their houses, it's either they keep it in a locked room or it's either they keep it in a coffin. I'll repeat that. It's either they keep that animal in a locked room or they keep it in a coffin. These coffins are usually in a back room or a locked room, and you won't even see it until it's presented to you at a certain time. At this point, you're probably drunk. You don't even see the chain of events because you're drunk, or you're drugged, or you're hypnotized. There are people that you are unable to speak to, looking at them straight in the eye because their presence is so heavy. Because they have washed their bodies with blood. They have drunk blood. They have eaten certain things. So when they come close to you, it's either they feel heavy, it's either you become scared automatically, even before they speak to you. You feel it in your gut that something is wrong. Or you feel it in your gut that this person, uyangisinda, is too heavy for me. It's because they wash with blood. Another thing, when a person who has done this sleeps with you, there are 4 things that happen. If uthole ngenyoka, at some point, they will require you to sleep with it. They will insert things inside of you that you don't even know. Bona, on their bodies, bayagcubisa amavasilini anomuthi. So when they sleep with you without a condom, they put those things inside your body. This will result in maggots in your vagina. You will have worms in your vagina. Your discharge will stink and it's uncurable. You will have multiple miscarriages because of umuthi ohleli phakathi in your womb. You will grow things in your stomach that doctors don't know how to explain, and they will end up saying it's fibroids when it's not. You will have babies that are disabled because this thing iyakudla ngaphakathi. Another thing, you will have a very bad aura. You will get into a room and people just feel disgusted by your presence. You will go to job interviews and people will not hire you. You will write exams and you will forget what you're writing. And in that moment, this thing is living inside of you. There are girls today who are okay with sleeping with men without condoms. And they think that the morning after pill will save them. It doesn't. It does not prevent the spiritual connotations that come with these things. Once all of that is done, either the man will tell you what's been done to you, or they won't. And if they don't, your body will deteriorate because you will not have the traditional medicine to sustain what's happening to your body. You will have bad dreams. You will not be able to eat properly. Your body odor will be so bad that you can't even sit next to another person. They will start feeling like uyanoga. There's a lot of people online who are consistently looking for the next beautiful girl, a virgin, a certain body type at a certain period of time. Because uktwala has seasons. You can't ngeke ukhona uktwala when certain things are happening. So the Sangoma will tell you, Uguti, wait a minute for this season, or for 2-3 weeks, let me prepare this for you before you do what you need to do. There's an increase of men who sleep with young women because of their purity. They know that you have not slept with a lot of guys, so you're still fairly clean. They know that you don't use the muti that they use, so they can easily overpower you. They know that you want money, so they will distract you from being with family, going to school, working. So you will be with that man for the longest time, every weekend, every night, and you will think that you're loved. But he's using you for a period of time so that he can get what he needs for this thing athwele ngayo. After that is done, they will ghost you. They will just leave you and go to the next one. But remember, sometimes this thing athwele ngayo will require a blood sacrifice. So it's either they will kill their firstborn sons, they will kill their wives, or they will kill you. If this thing that the abathwele ngayo says it wants you, come hell or high water, it will find you. You will be in a position where you're visiting this guy consistently. You go to his house, you sleep in his bed, and all the time, he marks the days where you go on your period. That time is very crucial because that's when you are ovulating. There's a possibility of pregnancy. That's when your body is most vulnerable. And that's when this thing can suck blood out of you easier. So they will force to sleep with you when you're on your period. At this time, they will make sure, Uguti, they have prepared their bodies to sort of deliver what they need to deliver to you. So bazogcobisa imithi, bazofuta, bazokapa, bazoenza what they need to do. And remember, you're innocent. You don't know what the sacrifice is for. You don't know when it's coming because it's not like they're written on their foreheads. You won't see it. But you will feel it when you leave their houses. Uguti, something was done. Sometimes you will not even remember what was done. You will wake up and there is blood on your sheets, or there is sperm, or there is stuff that is sticky on your thighs and you don't even know how it happened. But at this point, when you are a blood sacrifice, it takes time for them to get what they want. For those of you who have encountered men and women who are excessively using traditional medicine, and you are not part of the rituals. For an example, when you don't go to a traditional healer, the chances of whatever they're doing to you are greater because you are more I'm trying to find the word, receptive to what they're doing. The other day, I got a DM from a lady who said she went to somebody's house in KZN, in Mhlanga. They had dinner with the friends and everything was perfect. And then during the night, this man came into her room, butt naked, and said to her, "Can you just give me a blowjob?" And this girl said, "How? But you're dating my friend. Why would you want a blowjob from me?" And he said, "No, I just like you. you look good, you know, I've been eyeing you all the time. I actually wanted you, not your friend, blah, blah, blah. And this girl gave him a blowjob. In the morning, her lips were swollen. Bengathi ziyabola. Her tongue was swollen. She couldn't speak for days. Then my question is, why did you do it? Were you not aware? And if you were aware, what were your chances of leaving that house? 0. It's midnight. You're not going to leave. Your intention is not set out for you to leave. Another scenario. A girl in Pretoria goes to a house party. When they get there, it's friends again. She's dating the guy. The guy doesn't want to have sex with her. In the middle of the night, the guy says, I want to introduce you to someone. And this girl says, what? And then this guy pulls out a snake in a bag and says, this is so and so. And they want to have an encounter with you. This girl slept on the bed, and the snake went on top of her body, sort of moving around her body. And this man says, you have to relax, because if you're fearful, it will attack you. But now, the problem is, if you don't relax, it will kill you. Then she says the snake went up her body, wrapped itself around, and she couldn't move. These are the things, and there are many other stories and many other examples. But our problem is, as young people, we want the good life at all costs. We are okay with sleeping anywhere, at anybody's house, in any hotel, at any given time for money. But we forget that once you do these things, whether male or female, whether we are twala or we are qinisa, or it's a case where you want to get a promotion or a job, you must always be consistent. You must do these things all the time. There's no leaving this. You must do it all the time. And the more you do it, the more these things will come. But we forget that the people who are online, who have the good life, they didn't get the good life by only hard work. There are things that they do to maintain their lifestyles. There are people that they do these things with to maintain their lifestyles. For an example, we are in the middle of a pandemic. A lot of people couldn't work for a good 5 months, plus minus. In the middle of the pandemic, some people were able to buy cars that are worth 3-4 million. They were able to go to expensive hotels in the middle of a pandemic. They were able to go shopping consistently in the middle of a pandemic. These influencers that you see online form part, and a very big part, of our social decay, because they show you the good life, but they don't tell you how they got it. It's easy to say you're making money from a water endorsement. In South Africa, endorsements are very scarce. And most of the time, some endorsements don't even pay because it's a trade-off. So you post something only to get free goods, right? Then in other cases, yes, they do pay you, but it's not millions. So when you see these things online and you aspire to have them, be careful, because not everybody is going to show you their boyfriends. Not everybody is going to show you how they make money. Not everybody is going to tell you of the real sacrifices that they do. How many men they sleep with to maintain that life. A lot of artists complain that, there's no money. But then again, in the same breath, they're buying G-Wagons. They're buying Aston Martins. Now everybody's on holiday. You need to start thinking outside of what you're shown. Because when they die, we all cry and say, oh my God, they were a good person. They were doing 1, 2, 3. But you forget that they were doing 1, 2, 3 to try and impress you. They were doing 1, 2, 3 to get ahead in life. We may laugh and say, I just slept with one guy, just slept with 2 guys. It's not a big deal. But to get a Louis Vuitton costs nothing less than 80, 70,000. This is a genuine Louis Vuitton. To get a Gucci, 40, 80, 60,000. For people who did not work in this pandemic and who are not doctors or nurses, and nurses don't even earn that much. Doctors in South Africa don't even earn that much. For people who did not work in this pandemic, and I'm not saying all these influencers, I'm not saying all rich people, guys. I'm not saying, no. I'm saying there's a small portion of people who live like this consistently. They will make you believe that they've got gigs, they've got endorsements. They will make you believe that they're selling these products that are giving them millions. But behind that facade, there are 4 or 5 men who are funding this. They are consistently going to sangomas. They are consistently changing friends, because the more the friends know, the trickier it becomes. The more friends know what you're doing, the trickier it becomes to hide it. So they will change friends consistently. And I'm not disregarding businesses, online businesses, clothes, products, whatever. But I'm saying it does not match up to what you show. For an example, if you're selling clothes, it's very rare to sell clothes that are worth 500,000. And then you post in your car, in your apartment, you're shopping, you're going to every party every weekend, you're eating at this place all the time. It's a bit difficult. So when people say, I'm a private person, there's a difference between private and secretive. They will never post their real partners. They will never post the person who swiped for those things. They will never post when they go to sangomas. They will never post. And it's a good thing now that sangomas are able to do online consultations. Because you don't need to go to KZN. You don't need to go to Limpopo. You don't need to go to Mozambique. You call, consult online, send stuff, send your address, they courier what you need, your soaps, they courier your muti, they courier this, they courier that. It's 1 or 2 cases where they need you there in person. But for Uktwala, they will need you there in person. So when you see these things online and you saba well, the life. You sabawell the weekends, the drinking, the parties, the exclusive yacht parties, the exclusive Cape Town apartments, and all of that. Remember, not everybody affords those things, but there's someone who's sponsoring. And what do they want from you? How long will they want whatever it is they want from you? And are you willing to go the extra mile? Are you willing to sleep with 4 or 5 guys without a condom? Are you willing to sell or remove your fetus? Are you willing to get your friends raped? Are you willing to consistently use imiti? Are you willing to consistently have to do cleansings? Uyohlaba inkukhu, imbuzi. Are you willing to do that? Are you also willing to be part and parcel of having somebody killed because you want a Louis Vuitton? It is sad to see young people become so desperate. It is sad to see men use their own brothers and sisters to maintain a lifestyle. And you guys may say, but we don't see it, we don't do this, we don't know. The funny thing is, you guys know. You just don't want to believe it. You don't speak to your elders. You don't ask questions. And this is not the first time I speak about this. You know, the people who have read The Hockey Club, they will understand the context. The people who have read Ego will understand the church cults, how churches recruit young people, how things are done in churches to maintain isithunzi senkonzo in terms of spiritual power. These things is things that you know. When a girl goes to a doctor, ayofuna umuti for a bad discharge, it is very rare that antibiotics will cure that, because it's a spiritual thing. You will find that their discharge smells so bad, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, men, they smell so bad because they consistently sleep everywhere. It saddens me because our people don't want to confront the truth about tradition, the truth about traditional healers. And traditional healers are okay. I have no problem with them. I have a problem with what people request them to do. Because a healer is a healer. It's the request that comes from an individual to destroy another individual. So, one last issue. People abatwele, or people who have used muti consistently to acquire wealth, they usually know when they're going to die. Because mautwala, you are given a time frame for what's going to happen, what should happen, and what you need to do. So you will use the snake or use the blood sacrifice or whatever the nyanga has given you, depending on how big you want to be. Sometimes you are forced to bring your friends along because you have done all the sacrifices that are done. You have upahlile, wapeita, watwala, you've got a snake or whatever it is they want you to have. Then you will be given umuti. that you can only use at a certain time. When you look at how people are able to predict their deaths, and they are able to say, maybe a mistake, because sometimes when you're talking to people, you start talking about things that you should not say. And you realize later on that you have exposed the secret. When mautwele, there are things that you don't eat. There are things and places where you should not go. But what is consistent is you have to consistently sleep with certain people. You have to consistently bath with umuti or blood-infused traditional medicine. Once that period is over, where you have attained your riches, you have slept with a number of people, they will tell you that your time is up. And there's nothing they can do further. Because in life, the seasons change. And you can't be wealthy forever. You will see in their eyes. You will see in the skin. Abanye futhi you start peeling and you start looking very dark. And you wonder. And your palms look a bit different because it's like your blood thins. It is scary because young people, especially women, are okay to sleep here, get 2,000. Sleep there, get 5,000. Sleep there, get 6,000. And when a person who has no other person is able to enjoy you. No other person is able to sleep with you. No other person gets to see you the way you were before. So to get that out of your system is very hard. And you will have to in turn slaughter. You will have to in turn uyogeza. You will have to in turn do things that you would not normally do. So when I looked at those videos that I posted earlier on, other people will argue and say, no, it was this, no, it was that. But when you look at how Uktwala works, you are given the things that you're given, it be money or whatever, and then after a certain time, it all ends. And it ends very abruptly. It's very scary to be with a man who is okay with killing you. It is scary to be with friends who are comfortable to sell you. It is scary to be in this is now male and female, because young males also do this, they also want the good life. They also want to be seen as if they are rich and wealthy. But when you look at the rate of the income that Sangomas make and how powerful and wealthy they are now, it means something they're doing is working. The question is, it's working for who? And who is on the negative receiving end? Because even if you say, hi, Mina, they won't do it to me, it won't happen to me. You don't know what the person that you're sleeping with, what the intention for you is, and what they want to get from you, and how far they're willing to take things from you. So, and don't get me wrong, it's okay to be wealthy. It's okay to have nice things. It's really fine. It's it's no one's business. The problem becomes when they use your body to maintain that wealth, and when you allow them to use your soul to maintain that wealth. We may try as hard as we can to avoid facing the truth about Black culture. Our culture is extremely powerful. That's why it's easy for white people to take the same herbs that we use and call them antibiotics, because they work. When they do work, it's easy for a girl to say, I will not work a day in my life when a man can pay for it. So it will be their mission to make sure that they get the men that they want, regardless of the consequences. And guys, remember, there are different sacrifices for different things. There are oils that people use. There's muti that people use. There are plants and herbs that people plant in their houses for certain things. There are animals that people use. This will include snakes and pigeons and for different things. But everything works with a different intention. Everything works with a different intention. So you see beautiful girls, makeup, body, you name it. But the things that they have to do to keep those things is scary. When you have worms coming out of your vagina, when you have discharge, when you have a horrible discharge that smells, when you're having sleepless nights because you see dead bodies, you feel a spirit, it becomes tricky. So I hope from today on, you guys analyze the people that you drink with, that you sleep with, that you visit, people in your DMs, people who are able to say, it's okay, come to my house, I'll do this for you, I'll do that for you. It's okay, I'll pay it. There's always an intention behind it. There's always an intention. And honestly, it's your choice. It's really your choice if you're willing to do it. We have no right to judge you. We have no right to crucify you. But we're saying for those who don't know, it's better if you prevent this from happening. It's really better to prevent it. It's really better to prevent it. I'm looking at your comments. It's quite rough in the comment section. It's quite rough. So tomorrow, I'm going to have an Insta Live with the Sangoma. So they tell you exactly what they do. I'm going to get a male and I'm going to get a female. And I hope you guys will get the gist of what their services are like and what they go through to make those things happen. Otherwise, I cannot emphasize this enough, honestly. I really can't emphasize this enough. Stop sabawelling or desiring things that are not meant for you. Stop wishing that you were other people. Stop selling yourself. And we might say, yeah, it's sugar daddies, yeah, it's these rich people, it's that. No. In the beginning, you have a choice. You go to the house, you sleep there, you drink, you accept their e-wallets, you accept their money. When these things go wrong, you will have no one to blame. You will have no one to blame. So tomorrow is Tuesday. Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm gonna have two sangomas who will explain everything to you guys. And they will also explain the Ginimbi thing. Because I didn't want to speak on it because I wanted it to come from somebody who knows all of the signs, all of it. And maybe will also educate us more on other things that happen separately away from that particular issue. So, whew, yeah, yeah. This is just a bit heavy. I'm already getting WhatsApp messages. Oh, shit. Yeah, guys, I'm getting sick WhatsApp messages. Yeah, so yeah, guys, sure, this Kinimbi thing. Yeah, I think it's best if I park it and let somebody with the spiritual discernment say what they need to say about it. Because, yeah. Guys, I'm not saying nobody should not accept e-wallets. If it's your boyfriend, it's fine, whatever. But I'm just saying, be careful of how they attract you, how they lure you in, and how they keep you. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with e-wallets. There's nothing wrong with dating somebody. There's really nothing. We already picturing ourselves as wives in that house. Hi, I can't. I love my name. Yeah. So guys, I'm gonna have the Sangoma speak about this Ganimbi thing and other things tomorrow. And then I'm gonna have another male Sangoma speak about this because when it comes from me, it's like you guys don't believe or you don't care to listen. The only thing that you want to do is judge me personally on something. So it's better if it's spoken by somebody who has the spiritual discernment of these kind of things. I'm already looking at the comments, and people want to experience these things, and they will continue doing it because for them, nothing will ever happen to them. For them, it's like, it's just for other people. Oh, we don't care because we don't sleep for money. We don't, but they don't understand that once your friend does it, they will want you. You know, it will be a ripple effect. So I don't want to say something and then you guys don't listen to what I'm saying. You only judge me as a person. And the message is not thorough because your intention is to break me down, and it's not to listen to what's really happening. So it's better if it's done by somebody else. Yeah, so I'll have the sangoma. I'll put the details of the time because I need to ask them of the time. Yeah, I will put the time on my Insta stories because I need to ask them of an appropriate time for them. Because what I find now is that people don't care about the truth. They care about judgment. They care about, oh, well, it didn't happen to me. Oh, well, it's not part of my lifestyle. It's not who I am. So it's better if it comes from somebody who will be least judged unnecessarily. I always try to do my part to share what I know, what I've seen, and it's up to you what you do with it. Honestly, it's really up to you. Nobody can tell you what to do. Unfortunately, really, nobody can tell you what to do. It's your choice, but what I can tell you now, your choice might be the last of you. Your choice might be the last of you. So yeah, I'll post the time. I'll just call them in the morning and ask for the time because now it's a bit late. But what you do with the information is really your choice. It's really your choice. But it's unfortunate if it will end badly. It's really unfortunate if it will end badly. So I'll post everything on my stories in terms of the time. And then I will speak to the Sangoma tomorrow, who will explain all of these things thoroughly. We'll explain the deaths, we'll explain everything, because right now I just feel extremely extremely drained and attacked. And it's not everyone, it's just one or two people, or maybe like 10,000 people. But what you do, guys, with your life is really your choice. It's really your choice. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll put everything up. For those who want to watch the live who are unable to watch it, I'll save it. But tomorrow I'll speak to somebody else. I'll ask them the questions that you guys are sending me in my DMs so that they answer everything. Yeah, so yeah, I see all the rain people joining now. So yeah, thank you guys. I will enlighten you more about this whole thing tomorrow once the Sangoma is here. So good night and God bless. I mean, guys, it's not a new thing. There's so much detail that I have shared in all of those books that I write, and I think they will give you more on how it starts, how it builds up, how it goes, what they really do. I did it for a reason. I really did it for a reason. And it's so unfortunate that people would rather spend money on parties and whatever, and they don't want to learn. They don't want to read. They don't want to understand the world that they live in. They don't want to accept the truth or just be enlightened. You don't need to believe it, but just be enlightened. This is not a new conversation. It's really not a new conversation. So for those of you who honestly want to learn and who honestly want to understand how they attract you, how they sleep with you, what they really do, what their really intentions are, and maybe this live was not it for you because you still don't understand context, just go read and understand. Read to have it in your head so that if it happens to you in a year's time or 2 years or whenever, you have the context. You know how to deal with it. You know how to spot it. You know what to do to get out as well. So I will post everything on the live for those who want to watch the conversation with the traditional healer tomorrow. And then I'll get a male and a female so that it's from two perspectives, because some of them deal with different things. Yeah. Thank you, guys. I know that people from Botswana, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Namibia. Thank you guys for staying up and for watching, and thank you to the South Africans who are also watching. I hope you guys make right choices. You wanting people's lives is not the way to go. It's really not the way to go. Yeah, people post nice things. We all like watching these nice things, but you don't know how many people they have slept with and what they have sacrificed and what they live with in their houses. You don't know. So, oh yeah, I see people from Botswana. Hi Botswana. Hi Namibia. Hi Zimbabwe. Hi Lesotho. Um, if there's one thing you can do for yourself, is pray that you don't encounter these people because they're very brutal. And unfortunately, we live in a world where you can meet anyone anywhere at any given time. People's DMs are open, you know. People can DM you and say, I've got a job opportunity. I've got a campaign that I want you to work on. I've got, I want to buy a product from you. Can I meet you? But they don't really want to buy, they want to find you. So I just pray that you understand what you're doing. I really pray that you understand what you're doing, what your friends are doing. You see that girl with an iPhone, beautiful makeup, hair always right, a weave up to their bum. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're doing. That guy with a nice car, and then at the age of 28, 27, they're driving a Range Rover, an Aston Martin. They're living in a beautiful house. They're posting every day. You don't know what they're doing. Yeah, you don't know what they're doing. So, as we go into December, you better make right choices. Because, yes, we don't have money, and those who have money will use all of us. But I hope you make right choices. So, good night and God bless.